Columbus City Council meeting for November 20th, 2023 will now come to order. In compliance with the Open Meetings Act, Nebraska Revised Statute 84-1407, a current copy of this act is posted in this meeting room. Madam Clerk, would you please call roll?
Bulkley.
Here.
Augustine Schulte.
Here.
Barr.
Here.
Freshour.
Here.
Hemer.
Here.
Jablonski.
Here.
Lopez.
Here.
Roth.
Here.
Schilling.
Here.
Mayor Bulkley, the roll has been called.
Thank you. Council President Augustine Schulte.
Our Father, thank you for the opportunity to serve our fellow citizens. Please give us your wisdom and guidance to make the proper decisions entrusted to this governmental body. May our conduct show respect, honor, and courtesy to each other, as well as to all our citizens. Amen.
Amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening. I welcome everyone to tonight's council meeting. If at any time during our meeting this evening anyone in our audience would like to come forward and address any item on our agenda, we'd ask that you please do come to the podium, give your name, address, and we'd ask that you keep your comments to 5 minutes or less. We also now have on the podium a set of lights that would time you for 5 minutes. So I bring that to anyone's attention that would want to get up and get windy on this evening. With that, we'll move on to the consent agenda.
Item 4, the consent agenda. The following items are considered to be routine by the City Council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a City Council member or citizen requests, in which event the item will be removed from consent status and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda. Item 4A, minutes of the November 6, 2023 City Council meeting. Item 4B, reappointment of Robert Cruz to the Board of Airport Commissioners for a 3-year term. Item 4C, resolution number R23-151, approving the year-end certification to the Nebraska Department of Transportation of Richard J. Bogus as the street superintendent for January 1st, 2023 through December 31st, 2023. Excuse me. Item 4D, resolution number R23-152, approving the renewal of the maintenance agreement number 8 with the Nebraska Department of Transportation for January 1st, 2024 to December 31st, 2024 for the maintenance of the state highway system in the city limits. Item 4E, resolution number R23-153, approving the request for an antique tractor and gas engine show to camp overnight in Pawnee Park Friday and Saturday, June 7th and 8th of 2024. The Board of Park Commissioners recommends approval. Item 4F, resolution number R23-154, reaffirming the city's intent to provide or expand municipal solid waste collection services. Item 4G, Finance Department reports, and item 4H, payroll and bills on file. Is there anything you would like removed from consent status?
Mr. Mayor, I move that the items on the consent agenda be approved as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Item 4C, are the
Should be
dates correct?
It should be 2024,
The dates on item 4C should be 2024.
correct.
Thank you.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve pending the correction, or with the correction of item 4C. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes. Brings us up to proclamations. I have two proclamations this evening. The first one I'll read from here. Whereas the government of Columbus, Nebraska celebrates our local small businesses and the contributions they make to our local economy. And whereas, according to the United States Small Business Administration, there are 33 million small businesses in the United States. Small businesses represent 99.7% of firms with paid employees. Small businesses are responsible for 62.7% of net new jobs created since 1995, and small businesses employ 46.4% of the employees in the private sector in the United States. And whereas 68 cents of every dollar spent at a small business in the United States stays in the local economy, and every dollar spent at small businesses creates an additional 48 cents in local business activity as a result of the employees and local businesses purchasing local goods, services, and whereas 72% of consumers reported that Small Business Saturday 2022 made them want to shop and dine at small, independently owned retailers and restaurants all year long, and whereas Columbus, Nebraska supports our local businesses that creates jobs, boost our economy, and preserve our communities. And whereas advocacy groups as well as public and private organizations across the country have endorsed the Saturday after Thanksgiving as Small Business Saturday. Now, therefore, I, James B. Bulkley, Mayor of the City of Columbus of Nebraska, do hereby proclaim Saturday, November 25th, 2023, as Small Business Saturday, and urge the residents of our community and communities across the country to support small businesses and merchants on this day and throughout the year. Also have a proclamation that's kind of special. And it's special enough that I'm not going to do it from sitting here. I'm going to get out in front and talk to the public and see if I can stay 5 minutes or less, I was just told. So we're going to see if the public outfit works. Okay, starting. I'm up here this evening because we are losing one of our own. Councilwoman Beth Augustine Schulte has made a decision to leave us and move across the river out of town. And in so doing, the requirement is she must give up her seat. And it's with a lot of heartache that I am wishing her great luck in her new endeavors and her new home, but it hurts to see her leave. She has been a great council member. It's been fun to work with you, Beth, and in so saying goodbye in this way, I want to honor you the best way we can. I have a proclamation this evening. Whereas Beth Augustine Schulte was appointed to fill an unexpired term on the City Council in 2009, was elected by the First Ward in 2010, and was reelected in 2014, 2018, and 2022. Whereas Beth Augustine Schulte has diligently served as council member for 14 years and has helped to advance numerous positive changes in the community during her tenure. And whereas Beth Augustine Schulte has served the community as council, president of the City Council, as a member of the Finance Committee, Judiciary and Personnel Committee, and a member of the Committee of the Whole since joining the City Council. And whereas Beth Augustine Schulte has also served as an active member of the Community Development Agency and the Facilities Corporation for the City of Columbus. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Mayor and City Council of the City of Columbus, Nebraska, on behalf of the City of Columbus and its citizens, we hereby go on record as expressing our appreciation to City Council member Beth Augustine Schulte for the foresight, steadfast devotion, and leadership she has provided to the City of Columbus while serving as a member of the First Ward. In witness, therefore, I here do set my hand and cause the seal of the city of Columbus to be affixed this 20th day of November, 2023. Thank you, Beth.
I just need to say, Mayor Bulkley, you were on the council when I was appointed, so thanks for approving my appointment.
Okay, lost my chair. Okay, we'll move on to public hearings.
Item 7A, public hearing, application of Ronald Lambert for final plat and development agreement of Country Club Shores 6th Edition, south of 51st Street and 38th Avenue. The Planning Commission recommends approval.
Is there anyone here this evening to speak against this public hearing? Anyone here to speak for this public hearing?
Mr. Mayor, move the public hearing be closed.
I got a question.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
I'm sorry.
I don't know, I received a letter concerning this addition. I was just curious what transpired at the Planning Commission in regards to a second exit to that Country Club Shores. Can anybody speak to that?
Mr. Zingman, would you like to address us?
John, Consulting Engineering Services, 133 West Washington Street, West Point, Nebraska. To answer your question, Mr. Jablonski, we provided the city staff with a phasing plan for future phases of construction, showing the road to be constructed on the south side of the lake, thus connecting back to 33rd Avenue. We don't necessarily have a timeline for when that is going to be constructed, but Mr. Lambert has committed that would be the next phase that he will do out there.
So it won't happen till the next addition?
It will happen with the next phase of construction, yes, sir.
And why didn't it happen with this phase?
The housing that he wants to put in is more residential housing, single-family residential, and that kind of fits tying into Country Club Shores 5th, building down from the north. 6th will have to kind of transition a little bit from single-family residential into some probably light industrial, commercial-ish lots, and so the residential is what he wanted to construct at this time.
I've been approached by several residents of the area, and they feel quite strongly that the one exit as it exists today is not safe, it's not sufficient. I understand that there are other subdivisions that have more houses on a single exit. Nonetheless, I don't believe this is good design, and I am opposed to the plat as it exists.
Any other comments? Anybody want to close?
Move the hearing to be closed.
Second.
There's a motion already.
Yeah, I just need a second.
I have a motion and a second to close the hearing. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
Yep, the city attorney is asking that after each public hearing, we now have a second motion affirming the action of the item. So we'll have this second motion as it's listed here, and then we also will have, you can see 7A2, approving the resolution, another action approving the resolution. So if somebody wants to make that motion, we'd appreciate it.
Which motion are they making?
The second one.
A2?
Mr. Mayor, I move that the final plat and development agreement of Country Club Shores 6th Edition be approved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the final plat, development agreement for Country Club Shores, 6th edition.
So we're voting on the final plat here, is that
You are.
correct?
You are.
And we skipped over the annexing?
That's the next item.
Okay.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay.
Passed.
Motion passed.
Item 7A1, public hearing to determine whether Country Club Shores 6th edition should be included within the corporate city limits. The Planning Commission recommends approval. Public hearing.
Anyone here to speak against this public hearing? Anyone here to speak for this public hearing?
Mr. Mayor, I move the public hearing be closed.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to close the public hearing. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
Mr. Mayor, I move to include Country Club Shores 6th edition within corporate city limits.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve Country Club Shores into the city limits, 6th edition. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
Item 7A2, resolution number R23-155, approving the final plat development agreement and bringing said addition into the corporate city limits.
Mr. Mayor, I move resolution number R23-155 be adopted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve resolution number R23-155. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
Item 7B, public hearing, application of Lance W. Lear and Jinky de la Cruz Pedroza for the final plat and development agreement of Lear Second Subdivision east of East 29th Avenue and south of 23rd Street. The Planning Commission recommends approval.
Anyone here to speak against this public hearing? Anyone here to speak for this public hearing? I'd entertain a motion.
I move that the public hearing be closed.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to close the public hearing. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
I move that the final plat and development agreement of Lear number 2 subdivision be approved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the final plat of resolution number final plat development agreement, Lear Second Subdivision. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
Item 7B1, resolution number R23-156, approving the final plat and development agreement.
Mr. Mayor, I move that resolution number R23-156 be adopted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution R23-156. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
Item 7C, public hearing of Thiele 5th Edition, northeast corner of 23rd Street and east of 11th Avenue. The Planning Commission recommends approval.
Anyone here to speak against this public hearing? Anyone here to speak for this public hearing? I'd entertain a motion.
I
Mr.
move the
Mayor.
public hearing be closed.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to close the public hearing. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the Sealy fifth edition be approved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the Thiele fifth edition. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 7C1, public hearing, determine whether Thiele 5th edition should be included within the corporate city limits. The Planning Commission recommends approval.
Is there anyone here to speak against this public hearing? Anyone here to speak for this public hearing? I'd entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the public hearing be closed.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to close the public hearing. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the Sealy fifth edition be included in the corporate city limits.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve Thiele fifth edition and bringing into the city limits. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 7C2, resolution number R23-157, approving Thiele 5th edition and bringing said edition into the corporate city limits.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of Resolution R23-157.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution R23-157. Any discussion?
I was just remembering early on when I first came on the council, we had to read this whole thing. And then I looked over at Prince, and his was 2 pages long.
Yep.
So no wonder we had long meetings.
Yeah.
I'm thankful I don't have to do that anymore.
And what is, again, the reason for having the other? Why did we suddenly add something else into here?
Imagine state statutes are cumbersome, but it requires, when we're going back and reviewing it, separate hearings on both matters that cannot be conducted at the same time. So it's just an extra step that has to be done.
Okay. All right, we have a motion and a second to approve Resolution R23-157. All those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 7D, public hearing, redevelopment plan for Arbac Enterprises redevelopment project, redevelopment area number 8, located east of the intersection of 4th Street and 10th Avenue. The Planning Commission recommends approval.
Is there anyone here to speak against this public hearing? Anyone here to speak for this public hearing? We should give you a standing ovation because somebody came forward.
My name's Allison Bohr. I'm an attorney at Klein Williams, located at 233 South 13th Street in Lincoln, Nebraska. And I'm here on behalf of the developer Arbac Enterprises LLC to introduce this redevelopment plan. I know you're familiar with the project in the context of the final plat and the development plan that you approved in October. This redevelopment plan deals with the tax increment financing for the project. The site's located in redevelopment area 8, so it's eligible for the use of TIF. As you know, this project is a proposed residential subdivision. The project will create approximately 72 new residential units. It's through a mix of townhomes, single-family homes, and multifamily rental units. And the project also includes the construction of all of the necessary public infrastructure, so the streets and the sidewalks, and the construction and extension of all the required utilities to support it. The entire project will cost approximately $18.5 million, and the estimated TIF eligible expenses for the project are a little bit over $2.5 million, with over $1.9 million of that being towards the public infrastructure. The private improvements will be constructed in 2 phases, each with multiple sub-phases, but essentially how this is put together is that the entire project will have to be built out by the end of 2030. It's anticipated that the project would increase the assessed value of the project site by $16.5 million. So the tax on that $16.5 million of incremental value is the TIF that we would be collecting for 15 years for each sub-phase, and then using that TIF to make debt service payments on the TIF bond. Based on the TIF projections that are attached as Exhibit E to that redevelopment plan, it shows that the project can support a TIF bond in the amount of $2,525,000 with a 6.5% interest rate, so that's what you'd be approving tonight. Without TIF, the project's not economically feasible and is not going to proceed. That's due in large part to the current environment of high construction costs and high interest rates, coupled with the challenges presented by this site that has no existing infrastructure. The city's comp plan calls for a variety of new housing units, and I think this project really fits that need. I think it's consistent with what the city's comprehensive plan for development calls for. And again, to reiterate, the planning commission did recommend approval as well, so I can answer any questions that you have.
Will you be using local contractors?
I can't answer that question, but the developer is here to answer that question.
Corey Reeder, 12 Timberwood Drive, Columbus, Nebraska. Yes. For the most part, yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying very hard to.
Okay.
But it is difficult at times for some of the project.
Had I known you were RBAC Enterprises, I wouldn't ask that question, but I didn't know who RBAC is.
Yeah, that's my plan. I want it to be
Perfect.
for Columbus, yes.
Thank you.
Any other questions, Ryan?
You'll be buying local materials?
Yeah.
Perfect.
It's been quoted by several local providers, for sure.
Very good, thank you.
Anyone else to speak for this public hearing? We're on a roll. Let's go. All right. Anyone here to speak? Let's see, we did against, we did for. I would entertain a motion.
Move the hearing closed.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to close the hearing. All those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay.
I had to start all over again because I froze up. But I'm a yay, aye, whatever that.
You're not done until we adjourn.
Sorry. Well, my computer was telling me different, so.
Motion passes.
Move the redevelop a plan for RBAC Enterprises redevelopment project be approved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the plan for RBAC Enterprises redevelopment project. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 7D1, resolution number R23-158, approving the redevelopment plan.
Mr. Mayor, I move that resolution number R23-158 be adopted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution R23-158. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 7E, public hearing application of 4J Capital 2 LLC for a special use permit to allow one dwelling unit density per 1,276 square foot of site area in a B2 General Commercial District zone located on the west side of East Fifth Avenue at 25th Street. The Planning Commission recommends approval.
Anyone here to speak against this public hearing? Anyone here to speak for this public hearing? You're getting used to coming up.
Practice. Hi, Allison Bohr with Klein Williams. We represent 4J Capital 2 LLC, the applicant for this special use permit. This application relates to Phase 2 of the Flats at Fifth Apartment Complex. Phase 2 will add or expand the apartment complex by 2 apartment buildings. Those buildings are going to be the same or substantially similar to what you're seeing there currently. both 3-story, 30 units each, so a total of 60 units. This application is to increase the maximum density that's allowed in the B2 zone. The same type of special use permit was also approved for phase 1. So we don't think that the higher density will have a negative impact. It's consistent with what we did in phase 1.
Any comments?
What's the density now of the existing facility?
The phase 1 density that was permitted is 1978, so it was just a little bit under the 2,000 square foot density. That site also includes kind of the open infrastructure for the apartment complex, so that's your pool and your clubhouse. So that's kind of what makes up more of that, the lot size.
Which will be shared. This
Yeah.
phase
Which will be
2 will
shared,
share
yeah,
Right.
that
exactly.
space.
These two new ones become part of the original
Right.
3 that are there.
Yep, the drive extends, the
Yes.
parking is shared.
Any other comments, questions? All right, thank you. Anyone else to speak? Seeing none, I'd entertain.
Move the public hearing be closed.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to close the public hearing. All those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes. Who has ordinance 7E1?
It's not the ordinance yet. We need a motion to approve the special use permit.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the special use permit be approved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the special use permit. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 7E1, ordinance number 23-20, approving the special use permit.
Mr. Mayor, move the rules be suspended and ordinance number 23-20 be read by number only.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to suspend the rules and read ordinance number 23-20 by number only. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Ordinance number 23-20.
Mr. Mayor, move for the adoption of ordinance number 23-20.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt ordinance number 23-20. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes. Brings us up to reports of council committees.
Item 10A, Public Property Safety and Works Committee of November 13th, 2023. Item 10A1, the Master Plan for Centennial Park. The Public Property Safety and Works Committee recommends the Master Plan for Centennial Park be accepted.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of this committee report.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt this committee report. Any discussion?
I will make a quick comment. I've been the pusher on getting a general plan, an ultimate plan for our parks. I thank our staff for getting this one completed and urge them to continue on with our larger parks and get a similar plan in place for them, particularly Sunset Park. Sunset Park is adjacent to our brand-new field house, and we need to have a first-rate facility next to that one with a plan commensurate with what is in the field house. Thank you.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the master plan for Centennial Park. All those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes. Brings us up to new business.
Item 13A, appointment of Christian Jones as a firefighter, EMT, and paramedic hazmat tech.
Council members, with your permission, the mayor would like to submit the name of Christian Jones for conditional appointment to the position of firefighter EMT, paramedic, hazmat tech, subject to successful completion of all pre-employment requirements. Per council rules, the 2-week waiting period is waived for an appointment of paid firefighter. Mr. Jones was certified for firefighter EMT, paramedic, hazmat tech by the Civil Service Commission at their meeting held July 17th, 2023. Christian Jones is a graduate of Mount Michael High School in Elkhorn, Nebraska, and has a Bachelor of Science in Accounting from Nebraska Wesleyan University. He currently lives in Omaha. Christian holds certifications in Firefighter 1, Firefighter 2, Hazmat Operations, Emergency Vehicle Operations, and is a nationally registered EMT. Christian has been an active member of Boys Town Fire and Rescue since 2019. He is currently employed in accounting. And we need a motion to approve this appointment, please.
I move the mayor's appointment of Christian Jones be ratified.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to ratify this appointment. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passed. Mr. Jones, you are in the audience. We're not going to let you slip away without coming up and saying hello to us.
Well, thank you very much. I just want to say that I'm very excited to join Columbus Fire and excited to serve the citizens of Columbus and protect all of you as I best can.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome
Glad
aboard.
to have you.
Item 13B, appointment of Logan Bronson to the Board of Airport Commissioners for a 3-year term.
Council members, with your permission, the mayor would like to submit the name of Logan Bronson for Columbus Board of Airport Commissioner for a 3-year term. Logan Bronson is a resident of the city of Columbus and is a co-owner of Remax Total Real Estate. He has been working in Columbus real estate for the last 8 years. Prior to selling real estate, Logan served as a police officer for the city of Columbus from 2008 to 2016. Logan and his wife Jennifer have 2 children, Brooke and Bradley. They are active members of Trinity Lutheran Church, where Logan is serving on the endowment board. Logan looks forward to continuing his service for the city of Columbus in this capacity. We need a motion to accept this appointment, please.
I move the mayor's appointment of Logan Bronson be ratified.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion?
Is this a new appointment, or is he filling a post?
No, this would be a new appointment. All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 13C, quote from Foreman Lumber in the amount of $34,250 for roof replacement on east and west shelters at Pawnee Park. This is CIP number 24-15, but you'll notice that the recommended motion is that this item be removed from the agenda. Staff would like to go back to the drawing board on design of these roofs, so we're asking for this to be removed. It will come back at a later date.
Do we need to make a motion to remove it?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, I move that this item be removed from the agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to remove this item from the agenda. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 13D, comments from the mayor and city council members in compliance with the Open Meetings Act. No discussion may be held on this item.
Any council members have any comments this evening? All right, I just have a couple of comments. Wanted the public to be aware that tomorrow evening, our police department is holding an open house from 5:30 to 8:30. Really encourage anyone with interest in becoming a police officer to take us up on this open house. We're trying to give the public a great idea of what we have to offer, our facilities and our support. And we would encourage all to come that might have interest in pursuing a career in law enforcement. Also wanted to encourage anyone that might have interest and be a participant or owner in businesses downtown. We have an opening in our downtown BID, and as we always have said, we need people that would like to step forward and be involved. You can't be a part of the solution if you don't come forward and try to become part of that solution. And along with that same, I would like to remind people that with our councilwoman stepping down, we will have an open seat in our Ward 1, and I will continue to take interested candidates' applications for the next few weeks as we attempt to fill that position. So with that, I'll move on to resolutions.
Item 14A, resolution number R23-159, approving the settlement and mutual release agreement with Beth A. French in the amount of $22,500 for water damages at Park Plaza.
Mr. Mayor, I move that resolution number R23-159 be adopted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number R23-159. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
Item 14B, resolution number R23-160, approving the city to work with NeighborWorks Northeast Nebraska on a matching grant application to Rural Workforce Housing Fund and authorizing the use of city funds in the amount not to exceed 50% or $500,000.
Mr. Mayor, I move for resolution number R23-160 be adopted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number R23-160. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
For the public's information, the city of Columbus, the elected officials ranked the city's moving forward with the housing subdivision as the highest discretionary capital improvement project for this fiscal year, and allocated $1 million of sales tax funds and also some utility funds. So the city, what this is the city using a portion of those funds to try to get a grant, so additional funds from the state of Nebraska. That's the Rural Workforce Housing Fund. So we're leveraging $500,000 of our funds to hopefully get $2 million of grant funds for that project. So that's what this is.
Thank you for the explanation. I'm sorry I didn't see your nudge to want to say what this was about.
It's okay.
All right, we move on to 14C.
14C, resolution number R23-161, approving the interlocal agreement with Platte, Butler, Colfax, and Platte counties for the Highway 3064 connector project.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of resolution number R23-161.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve resolution R23-161, approving the interlocal agreement with Platte, Butler, Colfax, and Polk counties for the Highway 3064 connector project. Any discussion? Seeing that, I would just make the comment that this is a memorandum of understanding between the parties to continue trying to move this project forward with the goal of finding funding. That's really what this is all about. It's a commitment to stay committed to try to find funding, and that's where we are at this process.
Mr. Mayor, I would like to indicate my support for this project. To me, this connector is extremely important for the city. In fact, the city, to me, is going to derive the primary benefits of the project, and I urge the council's support for this resolution. Thank you.
Any other comments?
I just want to say that I'm chairman of the Transportation Committee, and we've been working on this for quite a while. And I think a couple of real people that need to be recognized is Dennis Grennan and Dennis Hirschberner and Arnie Stutman, who've really did a lot of legwork to move this thing forward, and I just want to make sure that they get recognized for those efforts. But we have a long ways to go, but this certainly enables us to move the ball forward, and I think we've got good support from the other counties at this point. So I appreciate a yes vote.
Any other discussion? All right, we have a motion and a second to approve Resolution R23-161. All those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes. Brings us up to ordinances on their third reading.
Item 17A, ordinance number 23-18, amending the city code to update the dangerous dog appeal process.
Mr. Mayor, I move ordinance number 23-18 be adopted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt ordinance number 23-18, amending the city code to update the dangerous dog appeal process. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes. With that, we bid Councilwoman Beth Augustine Schulte a fond farewell, and we ask and hope, wish her the best, and we wish the community a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Adjourn is.
Adjourn. Gobble, gobble.